What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Chrissy Mack, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm wearing green for all my kidney warriors. We are going to be discussing dialysis, right? Dialysis routines. So if you guys know anyone that could benefit from these types of videos, please go ahead and share it with them. And if you're new to my channel, what's up? Take a moment and hit subscribe to be notified when my next video is posted. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So if any of you guys are on dialysis, what I want you to do right now is comment below and let me know that you are on dialysis. I always love to support everybody, regardless if you're going through dialysis or if you recently had a kidney transplant. At some point, you've been dealing with a chronic illness, and this is the channel for you. So I just want to get to know where you are and what stage you're at. So there's so many different types of dialysis that you could choose. I know people that are on PD, people like myself who did hemodialysis. You could do at-home hemodialysis. It is your preference, guys. A lot of people come on and ask me, hey, what did you do? I chose hemodialysis for my lifestyle. You got to go according to what's best for you. I chose hemodialysis, like I said in a previous video, that I didn't want my kids to see that. I didn't want my husband to see that. And I just felt like dialysis was expensive enough. I personally didn't want to do it at home myself. So again, I know a lot of people say, hey, you know, you get more freedom with PD. I felt like PD was being pushed on me too much at the clinic, to the point where I felt like, hey, do you want my chair? Because is it money? What is it? Like, you guys are becoming obsessive over this. And I stood my ground, and I'm a big advocate for standing your ground when it comes to dialysis. So at the end of the day, I chose to do hemodialysis. So that's what we're gonna be talking about, is how was my dialysis routines? Everybody has different dialysis routines, but I'm gonna tell you guys my personal dialysis story. Let's start with the night before dialysis. So I had a nighttime routine, guys. So what I would do is I had a duffel bag, and I would pack everything that I could fit in that duffel bag. So that starts with my blanket, because it's always cold at the center. I had mittens, gloves, because I was just freezing all the time. But not only that, I'm a techie type of girl. So I need my iPod, or not my iPod, my iPods, or is it AirPods? AirPods, that's what it is. I needed my AirPods. Don't laugh at me, guys, okay? I needed my AirPods, I needed my phone, I needed my computer or my tablet. I just needed something to keep me engaged. Chargers, whatever I can think of. Obviously there was supplies that I had in there just in case an emergency happened, but I actually made a video on my channel that tell you exactly what I packed in my bag. So that's something, if you are new to dialysis and you just don't know what to pack, I would suggest that you check out that video, because it tells you in detail what I actually put inside of my bag. So the morning of dialysis, I would get up. I would actually just make sure, you know, last minute things. If I forgot anything, I'll throw it in there. But I would make a big breakfast for myself, because I personally cannot go to dialysis hungry, just because it takes a lot out of you. And I know how I usually feel after. So I just make sure that I have a really good breakfast that morning just before I go in. Then I would pick out some very comfortable clothing, guys. When I say comfortable, I mean sweatpants, long socks, my slide slippers, like my little Nike slides I used to just wear, my coat, long sleeve. I never went in short sleeve. I never went in shorts. It is too cold in that building. So I was always covered up from head to toe. I even had a Scully hat. That's to tell you how bad it was in there. So I kissed my husband goodbye. Everything would be good. So 30 minutes, you know, right before I jump into my car, because the ride is about 30 minutes to my center, I would put on numbing cream. Kudos to the lady that was sitting next to me who put me on to game, because I used to cry all the time at dialysis because it was so painful. Imagine, for those, wrong arm, but imagine for those that are not familiar with dialysis, if you're watching my channel, they stick two big, not little, big needles in your arm, and you have to sit there with that stuck to your arm for the whole session, like 3 hours plus. And it was just too much for me. So I had my doctor order me some lidocaine. So I put that prescription in, and when I went to Publix to fill it, the lady's like, hey, we got something even stronger than that. She was like, but your doctor has to like approve it. So you know me, I went straight to my doctor. I had him approve that. And so I've been using a prescription lidocaine on my arm. So I would rub it 30 minutes before I actually, as I'm getting into my car, right before I going into my dialysis center. So that actually starts to work right away. So I would just hop in my car. Most of the days I actually drove myself. Unless I was really sick, then I would ask my husband to drive me. So in that, like I said, that ride was about 30 minutes. So I would drive, I will go in to the door. You do have options for those of you that are new. You can either drive yourself or you can actually get with your social worker and have like a transportation company come and pick you up and drop you. I used to see a lot of the elderly people do that, and they would just bring them to their center. You got to find a way to get to dialysis. And they are very understanding. They work with you at the end of the day to just make sure that you have your transportation. But I just drove myself. I just didn't want to be bothered because when I got off, I just wanted to be going home. I didn't want to have to wait. I didn't want to have to deal with any issues. So I would get there, I would go inside, grab my bag, go inside, and I would check in at the front desk. And the lady would just say, check in my name, let me know, someone will come out and greet me, which they do. It's a routine, literally. And so I would sit down, talk to some of the other patients in there, hear everybody's stories, and then they will call me to go to the back. So after I checked in, I actually would just take a little bit of lidocaine and just kind of rub it on just for a little bit, because I know I would be sitting out there in the lobby for an additional 10 minutes. And when I say I want this arm numb, I mean I want this arm numb. So when they call me, I would head to the back, drop my stuff, and I would actually go to the bathroom, wash off my arm because they're gonna tell you that you need to remove all of the creams and everything off of your skin. So I wipe all of that off and I would sit in my chair. At that time, I make sure that I set up all my devices, I set up everything that I need, because once they connect you, there's no moving around and none of that type of stuff. Like literally my hand stood still for 3+ hours every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I just make sure I have my computer, my stuff charged, my snacks. Now I hear you can't even bring snacks. I'm not sure if that rule has changed, but me, I had to have my snacks, guys. So I had everything set up in my little area, and they will connect me. They'll come in with the needles. I don't like looking at that stuff. And once I get connected, I literally either journaled while I was there. Most of the days I would journal. I have my own journal line on Amazon for you guys. And I would just sit there and I'll just journal my thoughts, what I was going through, how I was feeling. So I like documenting that journey because now I can go back to those books and I can actually see how far I've come, right? You got to give a little bit of gratitude to know where you were to where you are now. So once I got all set up and my nurses, we laughed, we talked, we chit chat. And I always looked at the machine just to make sure everything was, top shape. I know it's their job, but I'm just anal like that. Just want to make sure that everything was what it was supposed to be, because there was a time where they took off too much fluid and it caused me to have some issues. So that's another story for another day. But outside of that, I would just get on the phone and my mom would talk to me the whole time. So kudos to my mom. She was the real OG. I know she had things to do, but she just took that time to spend with me while I was at dialysis, because she knew it was hard on me and I didn't have anybody to talk to. Everybody was at work or doing something. So it was just really nice to have that support. And even though, we were talking, sometimes I would sleep. I always made sure I had my TV on, because there's always a TV there, and my legs had to be up. I know there's some people that, leave their legs on the floor. I couldn't. I needed my legs up in the air with my blanket wrapped up, all cozy and nice. And constantly people are going in and out, in and out. You have the dietitians, you have the social workers, you have the doctors, you have the techs, you have everybody going in and out, people trying to come and talk to you. Sometimes it was just a little bit much. I personally just don't like to have a lot of conversations because I just felt like it was a lot going on. I talked to my mom, but I just didn't like talking to a whole bunch of other people like that. I just kind of took that time for myself. So I used to always tell like my social worker and stuff, hey, you guys need to check me after my appointment or before my appointment, because when I'm going through this, I kind of just want to be by myself, if that makes sense. Comment below if you were like that. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I was going through so much. I just didn't need the added stress of paperwork and everything else that they may need from me. And then, doctors trying to tell you, hey, take this, do this. It was just a lot at that particular time for me. So once I was done, I would just kind of pack up my stuff. You always had to get on the scale because when you first come in, I forgot to tell you that before they hooked you up, they will weigh you to see where you are. But then when you leave, they want to also weigh you as well. So I would go do my weigh-in, and they will write that down and chart that for the doctors and just for their record keeping. So I'll pack up all my stuff. I'll jump in my little car. There was a lot of days that I literally sat in that car for 20, 30 minutes before I even started the car because I was so drained and so tired. Like I said, some days my husband will pick me up, but most of the days I just drove myself, and I just needed that moment to just breathe because I was sometimes, your body's just off. It's a lot, guys. Imagine all your blood leaving your body, putting it back in your body after cleaning it. It was just so much that I didn't even want to be bothered with that. So once I started my car, I would drive home another 30 minutes plus, depending on the traffic, because you guys know here in Georgia, the traffic is ridiculous most days. So I would get home. As soon as I get home, I drop my bag. I have a little section in like my mudroom area where I would actually put my dialysis bag, hang up my hat, my coat, and things of that nature. And I would strip from everything and I would jump in the shower instantly. Like, I'm not hugging my husband. I'm not hugging anybody. I'm leaving the germs right there. So I would put all my stuff in the laundry, and then I'll just take a shower, change, get comfortable, go downstairs, grab a little snack, get something to eat, and then I would go to bed. And my family was very understanding. They knew when mommy closed that door Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to just leave her alone. And my husband handled everything. Like, he took care of the kids, he cooked, he cleaned, he did it all. So the caregivers definitely need to be praised more because it is very hard on them emotionally, physically. It's just so much that they have to deal with as we're going through our dialysis treatment and our routines, and they got to understand what it was. And I just laid in my bed for hours, right? For hours. So it would take me a good 4 or 5 hours just to come out of that. And then at that time, I would have my family come into the room. We'll talk about their days and things of that nature. And that was just my dialysis routine. That's just what I did every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And what I want you guys to do is tell me about your dialysis routine. How did you experience it? What did you do? What did you pack? Is our story similar or not? Right? So like I said, everybody is different. Obviously, for the ones that are at home doing PD, your story is going to be completely different because you don't have to leave your house. But I love doing these types of videos. I love educating you guys and talking about my experiences because I'm finding that you guys are sending me some lovely, lovely comments and DMs, and everybody's finding me on Instagram and Facebook and wherever. And we're just connecting as a family. And I am here to serve you guys. I am here to support you through your journey because when I started, I didn't have anyone to reach out to. Everyone that messages me, I message you guys back. So I just love being that support. And if you need anything else from me, let me know. If you have certain topics that you want me to discuss, you're now starting out, I love to hear your story. Just don't feel like you're bugging me because you're not. This is why I do this channel. And this is why I have the amount of people that are following, because you guys know that I'm here to support you. So again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out my kidney playlist. You guys, I have talked my journey from the beginning as I was, applying to be on a transplant, and then after the transplant life. And so I'm all about, just like I said, supporting you guys. So support me by subscribing to my channel. I love and appreciate you guys. See you guys next time.